budget, the best dishes from all over the world, prepared right in your own kitchen using available ingredients. Measured for 2 people by world-class Chef Martin Kaspar of L'Entrecote. Gourmet on a budget, a unique way to experience and appreciate food through the eyes of a Bible scholar using sacred scripture to explain the historical and significant aspects of ingredients, spices, and condiments through respected Father Joel Kamaya of Don Bosco.
Hello.
Hi, Father.
So, Gourmet on a budget, the difference is divine.
Today I wanted to prepare a pan-fried pork neck steak with a black pepper lemon crust, plus together with an apple chutney and a Caesar salad to match. So it's a nice, good combination. It's not too difficult to do, and it's also not too long. So what we start is we have black peppercorn, whole one, take a lemon, and again we use a little bit of the lemon skin, just a zest. Once we have that, mortar, and we nicely just work everything nicely through it so that the black pepper and the lemon can nicely be combined. Once we have that, we take the pork, put here nicely the lemon and the black pepper, and then place the pork on top and seasoning with this black pepper and lemon. You think it's a lot of pepper? It is, but it's not going to be that spicy because we're going to nicely burn it, and it's going to get a nice for barbecue. So we're going to leave that for a while.
Just so the pepper...
Exactly. So the pepper and the lemon can actually start working. Also what we do now, we add some salt, press it.
And how long are we going to leave this for?
5 minutes.
Okay. That's
5
not so long.
minutes, just quickly, and that's fine.
So,
So-
while we're waiting for this, we're going to be doing the
So once we have this, yes. Next one is apple chutney.
chutney.
Okay.
The
Chef
apple.
Martin, I'm familiar with the mango chutney. I love Indian food. But apple chutney is an interesting side and flavor.
Actually, this because apple you can actually use any kind of fruit to make a chutney. You can make pineapple chutney.
Okay.
You can make a raisin chutney. So chutney is a nice companion to actually grilled meat, grilled fish. It's something really nice. So it's a little bit sweet, sour, and spicy, which is nice.
Father, I have a question.
Yeah.
Why do they always use the apple in the Bible for Adam and Eve? Why isn't it like an orange or like a mango or another fruit? Why is it always an apple?
You know, Joni, and to those who are watching, actually it's not apple. And I'd like to read the verse. It's from Genesis chapter 3, verse 3. But God said, "You shall not eat of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, neither shall you touch it, lest you die." No word, no apple word there. But the serpent said to the woman, "You will not die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Now, I like to speak about this. How did the popular conception that the fruit was the apple? And you know, this is even portrayed in popular culture, in literature, and in art. The Hebrew word used for apple is peri. That's the original language. And peri means fruit. Now, here comes the apple. When St. Jerome was translating the Bible from the original languages, from Hebrew to Latin, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the word malus came in. Malus, okay? He had several options of translating peri, but he hit upon the idea of translating peri as malus, which in Latin, take that word. Now we have words in English that have several meanings. In Latin, malus has 2 different meanings. As an adjective, malus means bad or evil. Spiritus malus, bad spirit. As a noun, it seems to mean an apple. Malum is apple. In our own sense of the word, coming from the very common tree known officially, those botanists know this, Malus pumila. So when Jerome came up with a very good pun, he said malus, okay, for both, then the translation stuck. But one thing about the apple, it's desirable. And so this desirability brought Eve and Adam to go for the forbidden fruit, and the fruit of knowledge of good and evil.
So acting funny pala siya, no? Oh, there's
Yeah.
a pun. So that's really interesting, malus, because from malice.
Yeah, the word
Yeah,
malice
word
comes from malus. Yeah, right.
So where are we, chef?
So
What's happening?
we cut the apple just in cubes, all about the same sizes. And when it's going to be cooked, we add wine, a little bit curry powder.
What's that for? Why do we have to add curry
We just
powder?
want to have a little bit different kinds of flavor inside that chutney. You can add any kind of flavor. I like curry. I like a little bit ginger powder as well. Ginger and apples go very nice together. I add a little bit cumin seeds.
So does the curry add like a nice contrast to the apples
I
as
think-
well, or does it just complement it?
Apple and pork is a perfect match. Match in heaven. As you can see, sometimes you see the lechon that has an apple in the mouth,
yes.
right? So
Yeah.
it's, but it's really a perfect match. So it's nice. The sweetness of the apple goes perfectly with this porky meat, which is gorgeous. So we have white wine, then the spice, and then we add a little bit honey. And we add a little bit chili. I have here chili oil.
Oh, that's so interesting.
So we want to have it a little bit spicy, but also a little bit sour. And for the sourness, we take a little bit vinegar and add a little bit vinegar.
Why not sugar?
Honey is gentler. It's nicer. It gives you a nicer kind of this honey flavor, which is really gorgeous. Sugar, white sugar. It's a good substitute. Nothing wrong if you don't have honey at home. Use white sugar or even brown sugar. So this one we're gonna now burn. We're gonna cook this, put the cover on top, and let this simmer. So at the same time, we want to do a Caesar salad, and I'm gonna do a dressing which is a little bit lighter. It's the unusual Caesar salad. I'm gonna use yogurt. Yogurt, a little bit lighter, not as heavy. I don't use any anchovy, but I still use the cheese, some eggs, and you'll see. But first, I need to bake a little bit. I have to fry a little bit bacon. So I have a pan with a little bit water inside, and I have bacon. And I use normal bacon. You can use any honey-cured bacon or normal bacon. So I added a little bit water, and then I added the bacon inside, so that the fat will surrender. The fat will come out from the bacon, it will surrender, and then later on I only have basically the crispy pork left. So later on, maybe I asked you to watch out, to have an eye on it. You can steer it now, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Very important that the heat is not too high, so it's nicely, slowly surrenders the fat, and then it's going to be gorgeous. Same time, turn on the heat here. So we heat olive oil, heat it nicely up, and then we also have a little bit thyme. I also use some thyme leaves. As you know, it's always nice when you make a steak and you cover it with butter slowly. So while this is heating up, I have for my Caesar salad dressing, I have eggs, and I use eggs actually boiled already. We have Parmesan cheese, I have yogurt, and I use a little bit lemon and a little bit olive oil for my dressing. We check on our apple chutney.
That smells so good.
So, excuse me?
Go ahead.
Voilà. So you see, it's very busy in the kitchen. Kitchen can be very busy. So I have a pan where I add my yogurt inside. I add my eggs. Everything in the blender, everything. And I put Parmesan cheese. And only about half, because the rest of it I would like to keep. I also like to drizzle a little bit on top. I use some olive oil. So for the Caesar dressing, so everything here, and then I take the blender and blend everything. So again, you can use any kind of blender. So, I will put that. As you can see, the oil is hot. So we nicely add this here inside. And we sear it. Huh? And when you hear it sear, this is very important when you sear. Sear, that means that you close the pores outside, so that's inside it stays nicely juicy. So we sear it for 1.5 minutes before we turn it around. As you can see, your bacon, and I have the pot, also slowly. gets there as well. And then my
Chutney.
chutney.
I like how everything's so fast.
Yeah.
It's really about a lot of coordination, right, in the kitchen. So this is the pork neck. It's a piece from the pork, which is actually the neck part. It's like a ribeye. It's the ribeye of the beef, which is really beautiful because it has a little bit fat inside, so it makes it nicely moist and not dry, which is, for me, that's one of the best pieces of the pork. It's not expensive. A kilo will cost you maybe about 330 to 350 peso.
Roughly how many kilos is this?
One steak is about 280 grams.
Oh, okay, so that comes out very cheap
yeah.
actually.
Once it's here, we turn it around.
Oh. It's golden.
And again, we
Beautiful.
sear it. Okay, it starts boiling, and my bacon here as well. Starts slowly.
I think this is perfect for people really who, because I think the biggest problem is when there are just two of you at home, it's really hard to cook a complete dish. So I think this is perfect because it's so easy, it's so fast. Or maybe it's just fast because the chef is doing it, but hopefully
Yeah, and what
when
you
we
can do
try
actually-
it.
When they get the hang of
You
it.
can see, it's almost like the consistency of a mayonnaise. And the good thing about this dressing is, if you go to a barbecue, you can take it with you because the egg will not spoil. So, voila. So when both sides are seared, we'll add some butter. The butter now actually will nicely, slowly caramelize it and gives a nice flavor. So we add the herbs inside.
I think it's great that we have all of these tips from you and we're actually seeing you do it because all of these little details like adding butter after, what it means to sear, what point of adding the butter after is, we don't get that from a recipe book. So I think this is really good knowledge for everyone as well.
I think also a big help nowadays is really about YouTube shows you really a lot of things which you can actually follow with the recipe. So now we're gonna nicely cover that with butter.
Father, what do you think about the dish?
I can already smell the chutney. It's the
from
aroma
there?
is issuing forth.
From here, I smell the bacon and the steak.
Pork does not leak that long, and you can see the butter. The butter will not burn because we have it combined with the oil.
When you just press it now, is that to make sure that it's cooked?
When you cook steak, actually, when you touch it like this means medium rare, and then you touch it like this, it becomes medium, and when you make a fist, it becomes well done. So that's a little bit the measurement how you can actually.
So what's the best for the
part?
pork steak?
Pork steak is really about
Okay.
medium well to well done. So bacon I take now. My chutney is coming now as well.
Ah, the aroma.
Is that almost? Oh.
Yeah. So the steak is
pretty.
done. Also, what is very important with the steak, we have to let it rest.
It smells so good. Is this almost done, chef?
Yeah, it's almost done. You see, and I even left the herbs. The herbs which I fry the pork in, I also leave them because it's a nice touch.
And
which
this
you
is
can
from
get.
here, right? You just picked it fresh
Yes.
as well?
So, and then Caesar salad, we take
Wow.
romaine lettuce, which you wash, but you leave it whole. And then you cut here, and you cut half. And you cut half as well. And we take that,
Oh.
we place this
I never
over
knew
here.
that's how you cut
Wow.
lettuce. I've always just
Just cut
broken
like-
it. Something nice
It's
to take
only
back
it's
home.
not only what you cook, but how you cook it, how you present it.
Yeah.
Cook it
Yes.
how you present it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's all in the eyes, right? Which I
Yeah.
think is important. And you take the steak.
Oh, that's lovely.
Wow.
Right. Nice. Then we just add this dressing here on top.
And then you end up appreciating it more as well because you know where the herbs come from and it literally just was picked by chef. You see him preparing everything from scratch.
We add a little bit bacon.
Okay.
Then a little bit chives as well, which goes nicely to it. Let it fall. And then we have our apple chutneys. And we can serve this on the
And
side.
again, it's not a lot of ingredients. So if we buy it just for 2 people, we won't waste a lot of ingredients, or we won't have to store it in the fridge for too long.
So that's
Wow.
it. So that's it. Dish is finished.
So
Meal
I
is
guess
complete. So I guess what needs to be done now is tasting.
Oh my goodness, this is a complete meal again on its own.
It is, yes, it is.
Is this pricey or expensive to make? Because a while ago you said that 1 kilo is about 300 pesos for the pork neck, but this is only 280
Yes.
grams.
Yes.
So that's only half price
Yes.
for everything.
Yes, so you end up spending about 400 peso.
And again, divided by 2, so that's 200 pesos per person. That is really cheap. So, you know, instead of eating out where you're spending at least 600 to 800 pesos per meal, which is what we really think gourmet is, you can actually do it in your own homes for only 200 pesos. That's crazy.
Cool.
Cool.
You like to dig in?
Yes.
Certainly.
You know, I think that if we study the recipe carefully, like what you've shown us, we can actually do it for cheap.
It's really about ingredients, right? The most important thing is that you have good ingredients. A fresh dish or a good dish, it's about your ingredients. That's how good it's gonna taste. So please dig in, have,
Yes.
have a bite and enjoy.
How is it? Look, but chutney's so good.
This is good. The pork steak. And then,
Yeah, you eat that together with the chutney, so you have nicely the sweetness, the fruity flavor, nicely with that peppery steak now, which actually is a very nice combination.
I like this one because I've never had apple with curry, and the flavor really comes out in it. And it's also spicy,
Yes.
which I did not expect because when I think apple chutney, I think applesauce. Like
it's
cinnamon,
good. The
sweet.
spice is good. There's a kick
Yeah.
that makes you enjoy it.
So this is really a lighter version of a Caesar dressing. Doesn't have that much oil in it, and yogurt is really a very healthy option.
It is like a light Caesar. It doesn't feel like it's gonna get stuck in your belly. You know what? After today, I think I'm going to see the apple in a different light, just because I already know that it's not the devil's fruit.
Right.
My Father Joel's insight, I really appreciate the significance of the apple. And we all know that saying that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. You know what? There's this realization that comes now that an apple of wisdom a day will keep the evil away.
Yeah. Even if apple and evil share the same Latin word, malum. And even when we teach catechism and correct our students that the fruit in the book of Genesis is not an apple, we see the influence of St. Jerome's translation. 16th century paintings by Lucas Cranach and Titian show Adam and Eve under particularly tempting apple trees. And then in the 17th century when John Milton, the English poet, wrote Paradise Lost, and he was writing about Genesis, the forbidden fruit was an apple with a capital A. But despite all this controversy, we say that this dish of Chef Martin is desirable.
So, we hope to see you again next week when we bring you another of Chef's heavenly gourmet creations on a budget with Father Joel's Divine Food for the Soul. You can download the recipe on our website, so do subscribe, like us on Facebook, and check out our Instagram for our teaser stories. Gourmet on a budget?
The difference is divine. God bless you all.
I'm gonna have more of this apple.
I'll dig in it.
It's really good. I really thought it would taste more like apple.